Afghanistan and Pakistan's first ever T20 series is just around the corner. The three games will be played on the 24th, 26th, and 27th of March. Afghanistan have only announced an initial preparation squad, whereas Pakistan have already announced their final squad for this series. Our guest today is Devinder Kumar. Devinder is a cricket commentator and expert who I'm sure has a lot to say about both the positions. Talking about squads, Devinder, the Pakistani chairman, the Pakistan Cricket Board chairman, made some really interesting comments in the squad announcement press conference. I just wanted to hear your thoughts on that. It's something that has built a lot of controversy before the series even began.
Well, he is an experienced campaigner. He has been a journalist and politician as well. And psychological ploy, they play a major part in deciding the outcome of many matches. It's part of, just pricking the skin of the Afghans just before getting into the competition and making them think something different that is not there. That's the main reason behind it. And also, it reflects the culture of from where they come. So we cannot complain much about who is saying what because it's their understanding about the situation, how they view the world. It's a different thing. It's their opinion. It's not our opinion. And from my experience of watching Afghanistan cricket and commentating on Afghanistan cricket, I can tell you that, and with the interactions that I had with the match referees, more often than not, they told me that Afghan are the most honest and respectful people on the planet when it comes to cricketing affairs. And that's what I believe, that they are honest people, and they never ill behave with anyone. Unless you do something to them, then the action is always stronger than you expect. As we witnessed, when Australia decided to not come to UAE to play against Afghanistan, the response was brutal, and that's how they describe the Australians. So until unless you don't do anything to Afghans, they're not going to react badly. But if you are doing something, then expect a bigger response than you can even imagine in the wildest word. So I believe that it's just a psychological trick that the chairman is using to make Afghans uncomfortable. And he's someone who's very good at generating headlines because he's been a journalist.
There's always some sort of negative connotations associated whenever these two teams face. You're looking at the previous contests. Do you think such irresponsible, or if I say, one-sided comments, that too from a senior official, helps the situation or makes it worse? Because you would expect at least the officials talk in a manner that promotes friendship and togetherness among the players and the fans. How do you look at that? I mean, balancing his comments to his position. Do you think it was a sensible or wise thing that he did?
So it was not sensible because Afghanistan is experiencing turbulence politically and also cricket-wise as well. As the ICC meeting is going underway at the moment, it's underway. The Afghan issue will be discussed on Monday. So a lot is happening. So Afghanistan cannot respond, directly to what Nazim Sethi has said because they will require the support of Pakistan in the ICC meeting when it comes to discussing about a test membership or other issues related to Afghanistan cricket. At a time when Afghanistan is struggling on all fronts, it's important that you show your human side, not the brutal side of yours. And I think it was a very very irresponsible comment from someone who's leading. The Pakistan Cricket Board. Pakistan cricket team has always been, one of the top nations when it comes to, performing at global stage and also sending the message across the globe. But this is not in good taste, and we feel hurt, as Afghan supporters or in the world cricket as well, because this is not something that we expect from people in top positions. Uh, who are responsible for providing or creating good atmosphere, rather than sending waves that cause disturbance and mental irritation.
Well, absolutely. As you said, the two teams' rivalry is fast growing and it has reached its peak at times. But when you see the players on the field, it actually maintains and stays there. When they come off the field, they're quite friendly and have that mutual respect for each other. And let's hope the officials and the fans maintain that and act in a coding manner. Coming to Afghanistan's squad, as mentioned, they haven't yet announced their final squad, but there is a initial preparation camp currently underway in the UAE. You said yourself you're following Afghan cricket quite closely over the years, and have done significant work in that area. Is there anyone, there's quite a few new faces in the squad. Is there anyone particularly that kind of impressed you over the years, or that you want to really see in the final 15 member squad?
Now, this is a big series, and then focus would be on using experience. Or they got plenty of spinners in the Afghanistan rank who can trouble the batters world around. But this is a significant series, three T20 internationals, and Afghanistan has gone very close to beat Pakistan in the Asia Cup. So the focus would be on picking the experienced campaigners, those who are available in the side and those who have been performing well in the net sessions. All the players who play for various leagues will get picked automatically because of their experience and the way they've been performing. I think this time around the focus would be on experience delivering the performances. And since Nabi has been neglected from various franchises, and he is determined, there is a burning desire. The way I saw the videos of him preparing in the camp, I think he's someone who's going to hold the key from Afghanistan's perspective, especially in the batting department, because if he bats at number 4 position, he has got the experience of playing in variety of conditions and the type of bowling that we can expect from Pakistan. So I expect him to deliver a good performance. Maybe he could be the man of the series for Afghanistan. Ibrahim Jadran, he has been batting consistently well for Afghanistan in Asia Cup, in the ICC T20 World Cup in Australia, and then the way he played in the ODI series against Sri Lanka. And Gurbaz has been getting runs, but he hasn't been consistent. So Afghanistan would expect that he delivers at least one match-winning performance, and then Najibullah Jadran, as we know, that he's a match winner. So the top order, if the top order deliver the performance, then Afghanistan will win the series. But if they lose wickets early on, and then it's going to be difficult because middle order hasn't been tested and haven't been living up to the expectation. Though in the lower order, we got the batsman in Najibullah Jadran and also Rashid Khan, who could finish the games well. So it
You
depends on
took
how.
a very good point. Experience. The series being the very first of its kind, you would expect both teams to go with their stronger sides. But Pakistan seems to have adopted a whole new approach. They have rested all their senior players and the players who normally perform better against Afghanistan. They've went with most of their players in the squad being new or uncapped. How do you see that? Did they surprise you in any way, or what do you think is the thought behind that?
No, it hasn't surprised me because there is always higher expectation when Babar Azam and Rizwan playing for Afghanistan. For Pakistan. So they wanted to take that expectation out of the way because there is always this worry because Afghanistan has been contesting well and challenging Pakistan big time, and there is a worry that they might beat them. So they just wanted to take a couple of senior pros out of the team just to lessen the level of expectation from the players. And second thing is that Babar Azam and Rizwan have been performing. That's all right. But their strike rates have always been a point of discussion. And I think the new players coming through in Harish and Shan Masood and also uh, Ayub, who is an attacking batsman. So I think the new look Pakistan batting lineup is more dangerous than the previous experienced campaigners because that's where they will play with freedom, a lot of freedom, and that gives them little advantage in the batting department for Pakistan. And also they found a couple of outstanding bowlers, those who have been performing well in the PSL. Jaman Khan, we saw how well he performed in a pressure situation in the final over yesterday. And in Ashanullah, they found a gem, bowls at 150, and it's got whippy action, can get the batsman into double mind, can trouble them with the pace as well, and has got a delivery that comes back into the batsman at a good pace and can trap the batters in front. So they got quality batters, quality bowlers, spin bowlers. Sadaf Khan has always been a match winner. He plays the kind of role that Rashid Khan plays for Afghanistan, and he's leading the charge as well this time around. So it's going to be a good battle between the two skippers, Rashid Khan and Shadab Khan. And plus, they got Imad Wasim back and Nawaz Khan, the left arm spinners. I think Afghanistan can deal with the spinners quite effectively. The amount of ammunitions that they have in their own camp So they're well prepared to treat the spinners the way they want to treat, but fast bowlers will certainly challenge, and that's where I think the preparation of the pitch is going to be key.
Mm. You mentioned about the preparation of the pitches, and Afghanistan has an upper hand hosting the series. Looking at both squads, Afghanistan, well, obviously is spin heavy, but Pakistan seem to have thought of that as well. What sort of pitches do you think will Afghanistan go for, considering their own spin attack and then the opposition?
Yeah, the first thing we have to understand the pattern of the PSL. They've been scoring heavily the openers and top order batsmen. The pitches have been quite batting friendly in PSL. So they are in that kind of rhythm. Now we have to do two things as a Afghanistan team management about finding the pitches that can neutralize the effect of the Pakistan batters and bowlers, and at the same time suit the Afghan spinners. And also, if you look at the batting unit as well, Afghanistan batters, they sometimes they bat in certain flow, and then all the batters have different flow about their batting approach. And when it comes to Pakistan, all the batters more often than not you find them stroke makers all the way through. To challenge or to break that pattern from Pakistan batters and also neutralize the fast bowling of Pakistan, it's important to prepare the kind of pitches that suit Afghanistan, and that's a slow, low pitches. And that's been the nature of the pitches at the Sharjah Cricket Stadium since they relayed the surfaces some time back. As we witnessed in the previous editions of the IPL and in the Asia Cup as well, that at Sharjah pitches have been very, very supportive for the spinners. They're slow, low, and inconsistent when it comes to pace and bounce. So that's something that's a recipe for disaster for Pakistan and recipe for success for Afghanistan.
Absolutely. You drew a very interesting comparison between Rashid and Shadab earlier. I'll come back to Shadab, but Rashid, he came back as the T20 skipper. How do you see that decision?
In present circumstances, it was the best possible decision because it's not about tactical awareness and tactical things on the field or making the team win. At the same time, it's about pulling off all the things around the cricket as well. The financial support, they needed a role model. Like India had role model in Sachin Tendulkar. He was not the best captain, but they appointed him captain to draw the market in. And that's what Afghanistan has done in appointing Rashid Khan because he's well recognized figure in world cricket. He's a champion spin bowler, and he's been improving as a batter as well. And the amount of experience that he has playing with various franchises will help, imparting that knowledge to the players playing in their rank and help Afghanistan boost their image as a cricketing nation. At the same time, bringing out that competitive spirit that they naturally inherit the Afghans.
Well, Nabi, as you mentioned, is probably the most experienced in the current squad. How important is his role, as a supporting skipper, maybe behind the scene and supporting Rashid in this important encounter against Pakistan?
Yeah, all the players chip in. That's a good thing about Afghanistan. It's always brotherhood. Great atmosphere in Afghanistan team. Whenever they take the field, they support each other, and that's been the history. Under Asghar Khan, we saw how well Afghanistan developed as a T20 international side. We experienced a little bit of blip, change in captaincy. Nabi was made captain. Gulbuddin was captain for a brief period of time, and then now Rashid back in, and everyone knows that he's going to be captaining the side for a long time in T20 version of the game. And with Rashid Khan, one thing that we expect is a fierce determination and also intensity on the field. And that's what he demanded when they did not perform up to the expectation against the UAE recently at Abu Dhabi. Rashid Khan is a fierce character, is competitive, and a great energy that he brings to the side. I think the side will feel inspired by his presence, and he will receive good support from everyone around him.
Uh, Pakistan too has a new skipper in the form of Shadab Khan. You briefly touched upon that earlier. He obviously led a successful team in the PSL, which means he's experienced. But do you think there were other experienced candidates, players with the similar experience but more success rate in captaincy?
Normally in cricketing circle, you know that the guy who's been vice captain for quite some time for Pakistan, so they continue with them as we witnessed with KL Rahul as well, despite his poor form. But Shadab Khan has been appointed because they wanted to give rest to Shaheen Shah Afridi. and also to Babar Azam and Rizwan. So there was no better option, to be honest, in current scenario apart from Sadaf Khan. And I think it's not a big surprise to anyone because that's what he's been doing for quite some time. Vice captaincy and then now captaincy has come naturally to him. In T20 series, there comes a moment when you need to think on your feet and need to make a decision in crucial situations. Will Afghanistan be able to put Pakistan under pressure? Now that's where his captaincy will be tested, because acting as a vice captain is a different thing. Anybody can give suggestion to the captain, but when the pressure is on, and can he make good decisions for Pakistan? I think it's going to be litmus test for Sadaf Khan as well. And the kind of pitches that I expect at the Sharjah Cricket Stadium, I think it's going to be a very, very close encounter. And there will be many pressure moments, and that's where maybe his experience of captaining Pakistan team will be exposed.
Just wanted to briefly touch upon the strengths of both sides. If Afghanistan is going over the line in this series, what are their main strengths, and similar for Pakistan?
When it comes to Afghanistan, I think lower order batting has always been fruitful, and they've been able to utilize the last 4 to 5 overs well, always well. And also the spin bowling, the trio, Rashid Khan, Nabi, and Mujibur Rahman. I think Mujib's role is going to be crucial because Pakistan has got attacking batsmen at the top of the order, and Mujib bowls in the power play overs. And mostly in these kind of conditions, you have to bat differently. Normally, what you do, you score normal runs in the power play overs, then look to consolidate the proceeding and accelerate in the last 4 to 5 overs, keeping wickets in hand and acceleration. But at Sharjah, the pitch plays the best in the first 4 or 5 overs. So you need attacking batsmen looking to take down the opposition bowling attack, break their rhythm. And that's where, we got the batsmen in Afghanistan ranking Ibrahim Jadran and Gurbaz. And I think they should be opening the batting more often than not. You find Hazratullah Jazai coming in there, mixing up with them right and left in combination. But if they want, good attacking options, then I think Ibrahim Jadran and Gurbaz, because Ibrahim can rotate the strike and Gurbaz can attack from the world coup. That's a better way. Afghanistan has got the potential at the top of the order, but they've been inconsistent. Middle order haven't got many opportunities of late, but they got players with experience. They understand the situation. They can come good, and bowling unit. Fast bowling can be challenged against Pakistan because Fazil Al-Faruqi is very good with the new ball, but can he bowl well in the death overs? That is a cause for concern. And also Naveen Ulhaq has been bowling inconsistently. Sometimes he delivers good spell and sometimes he goes for runs. So fast bowling is something that's an area of concern. Apart from the new ball, with that, Fazal can make early inroads. Spin bowling attack, world class. There is no comparison. With even Pakistan cannot compete in the spin department. They got the talent at the top of the order in Afghanistan unit, but they need to translate into performance in the upcoming series, where they will be facing a quality opposition. When it comes to Pakistan, the inclusion of youngsters at the top of the order, that's going to give freedom to Pakistan batters to express themselves. And naturally, it suits the temperament of those batsmen to play aggressively at the top of the order. They got Iftikhar Ahmed, who's been in a red hot form, not only in PSL, before that in the ICC T20 World Cup in Australia, and he's played in the Shpagiza Cricket League last time around. So he's got a fair idea how the Afghans bowl and bat and what is their approach towards the game as well. Also, they got Umar Gul in the opposition ranks, who spent considerable amount of time with the Afghan fast bowlers. So he understands not only the bowling style and other things, also the psychology of the bowlers. So that would benefit Pakistan. Bowling inexperience in the fast bowling department, but they got pace, and these players have played a lot of domestic cricket, and they're coming with a good form. But I think the amount of inexperience that they have in the fast bowling lineup, that's where if Afghanistan bat well in the first 4 or 5 overs, they can put them under pressure, because having the natural ability to perform, that's a different thing. But if the pressure is put straight away and you're playing international cricket, then you start worrying about defending yourself rather than looking to attack and take wickets. And that's where if Afghanistan can get off to a flying start with bat in hand, they can certainly trouble Pakistan.
You actually made a very good point. Umar Gul being in that position and fast bowling being Afghanistan's weakest link. There are players in the current preparation camp who probably haven't had that international exposure when Omar Gul was in the squad. And looking at the weaknesses in that department, do you think we'll see, one or two new players given an opportunity in this series? Obviously, the World Cup is next year. Will Afghanistan take a risk or two, giving some young players an opportunity to test them?
I don't think so because this is a very, very important series. We came very close to beat Pakistan, so I think this is a golden opportunity to beat Pakistan, and I think they will go with the experienced campaigners. I can understand Bilal Sami around the scene. He's got the pace, but experience is required against a tough opposition. So I think they will give him opportunity at the right moment. In this series, I don't think so because in this series the focus would be on using the bowlers who could use the pitch better. It's about working with the pitch rather than in using your natural talent. Working with the pitch requires certain amount of experience and the pitches at Sharjah will suit the likes of Naveen ul Haq, who takes the pace of the ball, or Fazal Al Faruqi, who's been around for quite some time, and then they got plenty of experience. So I think he's a good talent, Bilal Sami. He will be used at some point of time, but not in this series because Afghanistan need this win desperately. We came very close on many occasions, but to lift the spirit of the nation, this is the series where all the Afghan supporters, not only in Sharjah or UAE, but around the world, will be hoping that Afghanistan deliver one punching performance so that they can lift the spirit of the nation and at the same time, boost their own confidence heading into the ICC One Day World Cup and later T20 World Cup in the Caribbean nations.
Well, we'll hopefully discuss Afghanistan's final squad in more detail in due course once announced. As you mentioned, Afghanistan, even they've lost all their games, but it has always been by the barest of margins. And my last question to you is, if you had to pick a side and make a prediction, who do you think will end up on the winning side, winning the series?
If Afghanistan play to their true potential, because they got plenty of players with the potential to do something extraordinary. In the bowling attack, they are absolutely fantastic, world-class bowling operators there. I think if Afghanistan play with freedom, the kind of freedom and aggression that they showed in the Asia Cup, Afghanistan has a realistic chance of beating Pakistan by 2 matches to 1.
Well, let's hope that happens. And thank you for your time today. We'll definitely be discussing this throughout the series and expect some exceptional performances from both sides. As long as it's a competitive game, it doesn't really matter. Well, it does matter, but if they, put up a good fight, we'll take that as well. But yeah, thank you, Devendra, for your time, and talk to you soon again.
Thank you, Bashir. Thanks for having me. Thank you very much.
Thank you.